Caleb Followill, welcome to the project and a huge congratulations on your new album, When You See Yourself.
Yeah, man. Good to be here.
It's no secret the pandemic has wreaked havoc with the music industry over the last year. I've spoken to some artists who have changed their albums, have scrapped the albums or tweaked the album. Did you consider doing that at all?
No, that was something I tried not to get into my head. But you know, we worked a long time on this album and we worked really hard. So at first we were like, oh wait, we don't have to go straight into work. We can sit at home with our families for what we thought was going to be like, you know, a month or something. And then about 6 months in, we're going like, all right, this thing seems to be sticking around. But yeah, you know, it was something that I wanted to make sure that after all that hard work that we had put into it, that we didn't go back and mess with it just for the sake of boredom, you know. And I feel like, you know, if you listen to these songs, there are a lot of moments on the album that do sound like they were written after the fact or during the fact. But that's just coincidental genius, I guess.
Well, there is, though, a beautiful reflective nature to these songs. I found myself listening to the album over and over again and just letting the songs wash over me.
Yeah, well, thank you. Yeah, like I say, we really put in the time on this one, and you know, I tried to really get back to my love of songwriting and storytelling.
You are such a heartfelt songwriter and lyricist. When did you find your niche?
We were living in Jackson, Tennessee, and we moved to Nashville because I said, I'm going to be something. I'm going to be a singer or songwriter. We had just started writing songs, Nathan and I, and they were kind of like pop, cheesy, corny, like country song type deals. But they always had like a good story to them. You know, we weren't there yet musically, but I was like, you know, on this record, I want to get back to storytelling, and I wanted to be able to tell stories about my surroundings, and you know, and then kind of throw a little bit of my personal stuff in there. But really, I wanted to write about characters and love songs and talking about troubled people, and yeah, it's something that inspired me on this album.
How much of your songwriting process is you waiting for your muse to inspire you, and how much is like, bugger the muse is not showing up today, I need to write a song now?
For me, it's me playing a song, playing some chords that kind of do something, and then I'll just kind of mumble stuff, and every now and then something will jump out, and I'll be like, all right, that's what the song's gonna be. And a lot of times in the studio, it's everyone kind of looking at their watches going, all right, Caleb, you gotta finish these lyrics, because the album is ready to be, you know, ready to go to the people. We just don't have any vocals on it yet. But I'm very hard on myself with lyrics, so you know, I really want to make sure I get them to a point that I love them before I put it on there.
I heard your brother Jared say that the band took the pressure off in as far as trying to write a hit song for this record, and just you wrote an album that the band loved.
Yeah, I think that's Jared's way of saying we accidentally didn't write a hit. No, I mean, we didn't think about the hooks and everything having its big, powerful chorus moment. It was more about, like, we all went in there knowing exactly what kind of album we wanted to make. Had we known that there was going to be a pandemic and we weren't going to make money on the road, we probably would have tried to throw a hit in there. So we had some kind of cash coming in, but yeah, you know, it was more about making an album, a complete album, start to finish, letting it flow, letting the stories kind of run into each other and make sense that way.
The song 100,000 People is such a poignant song, and it's a song you wrote about your father-in-law's battle with dementia. I imagine when you write a song about your father-in-law, you want to get that one right.
Yeah, that's not one you want to bring home to the wife and be, mistaken on the story. But no, it wasn't, I didn't try to go completely obviously about him, but I did want it to be about what I witnessed, and what she went through. And it was a sad time. I mean, he was a brilliant guy, and you just see him slowly starting to slip away. And then in the end, there wasn't a whole lot of conversation going on. I could see him trying to recognize me when he would see me. And so that's what I want the song to be about, you know, trying to recognize this person that you know you love and means a lot to you, but you can't quite put your finger on who it is.
Is it true that this is the first Kings of Leon album to not involve a fist fight?
No punches were thrown. No animals were harmed in the making of our album.
Why were punches ever thrown in the first place?
I mean, you know, there's a lot of ego involved. Every one of us have the best job in the world. You know, everyone wants to be a rock star. I don't love that term, but let's call it what it is. You know, when you go out on stage and there's thousands of people that are looking at you like this and singing your songs back to you, you know, ego comes into play. You know, it's not the easiest job. Everyone thinks it's easy. They think it's all, you know, flying on private planes and supermodel wives and wait. Yeah, I think I do both of those. But there's a lot of downtime. There's a lot of sitting around and loneliness and, you know, just wanting to be home. So all that kind of stuff just starts to build. And the fact that we're brothers and cousins, we already have that in us, you know, to be competitive and argumentative. When we do have beefs or whatever, we keep it amongst ourselves, or try to at least.
Caleb, I've heard rumours that your wife Lily is keen on moving the family to Australia. Is that true?
Yeah, she's shown some interest for sure. I think, you know, just because we love Australia, we've always had the best time there, and to see how you guys really knocked it out of the park with the pandemic, and you know how you guys protected your people, and you know, to see people out on the beach and see people at concerts and stuff. You know, we've been scratching our heads here in the States for a while, going like, is that going to be happening anytime soon? Our rollout wasn't as successful. We had a lot of misinformation that was being sprayed around, but we're getting there now.
You'll be back in Australia in 2022. You've just announced a Kings of Leon tour down under. How are you feeling about it?
We can't wait, man. It feels like it has been way too long since we've been in Australia, and that's one of our favorite places to be. We're ready to play. Our bags are packed and we're ready.
My son asked me, who is becoming a fan of the Kings of Leon, who Leon was, or why the band was called Kings of Leon. I explained that he was your grandfather, and now I'm curious to know, did your grandfather Leon embrace the band?
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned that, because he passed away a couple years back, but my dad was over at his parents' house today, and he was looking through old photos, and the one photo he sent was my grandpa sitting in his favorite chair in his overalls, wearing a Kings of Leon hat. Him and my grandmother, you never saw her without a Kings of Leon shirt on. She loved it. They were super proud that we had the family name and we're carrying it on.
So, speaking of family, how important is it that your kids enjoy your music?
I mean, it depends if they want to go to college. I mean, no free rides in this house. No. My son loves our new album. He bops around to a couple of the songs. He loves them. My daughter, she went through a phase where she was a Kings fan, and now every now and then, just to stroke my ego, she'll come in wearing a t-shirt or something, but you won't catch her listening to our music. She likes to dance, and I guess our music isn't very danceable.
Going back a few years, I know that your dad had a pretty extreme way of clearing your teenage parties using jalapenos. Can you please share with the parents watching here in Australia this extreme parenting tip?
He would just throw them in the microwave or in the oven or whatever. And I think he would put like a wet paper towel with them to really get them steaming. And before you knew it, the house was pepper spray. And so there are kids with their heads hanging out of windows, and my dad, you know, he's kind of a chilly head, so he would just sit there in the middle of it laughing. But you knew, like, you know, when the pepper hit the fan, that meant, you know, next stop is cops are coming. So let's end the party now.
Well, Caleb, it's been a thrill chatting to you. We cannot wait to see the Kings of Leon back in Australia in March 2022. And make sure when you come down, you swing by the project desk. We'd love to have you here.
Yeah, I would love to. That sounds great. Can't wait to get down there and see you guys.